Time to play.
Time to eat.
Time for bed.
Time for God.
What time is it right now? It's Kingdom Kids time!
Hi, boys and girls. We hope you're having a great week. Hope you're trying to stay cool from the heat. Do you ever feel like some days just drag on forever? Like when you have a bunch of schoolwork or you're cleaning your room? And some days feel like they just fly by, like when you're at the beach or when you're having fun playing at a friend's house. Or maybe you feel like it's taken such a long time to grow up and you're going to be a kid forever. But I imagine your parents say things like, "You're growing up way too fast," don't they? Do you ever think what your best day ever would look like from start to finish? Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you see? I think what I would probably do is go to the beach with my family. I can just feel the cool ocean breeze now and the cool water and the sand on my toes. Ooh, wish I was there. I'd like to show you something. In this box is another gift from God. Let's see what it is. It's a watch, and it is the gift of time. Time is a gift from God. That's right. He even tells us this in Psalm 90:12. Teach us to count our days that we may gain a wise heart. This doesn't mean we should spend our day counting. We should use our time wisely, which means make our day count. This way we are using our time like God wants us to. If we spend time complaining or being grumpy because things just aren't going our way, we are wasting a perfectly good day. We are all given 24 hours a day, every day, to do the best we can. So we know that time is a gift from God, and we should not waste it. Most of the important things we do with our time don't just happen on their own. We choose to do them. We need to make good choices with our time. Some questions we should ask ourselves about our time is, are we making time for our family and friends? Are we making time for God? Are we making time to help others? It is important to think about how we use our time because time moves so fast. Once it's gone, it's gone. We don't get a do-over. Miss Susan can tell us more about how time flies.
One of my favorite times is playtime. When I was a little girl, I was never bored. I loved my toys and I loved to play games. One of the games I liked to play was called marbles. Marbles are glass balls that have lots of colors in them, and you can still buy these today, but children have been playing the game of marbles for over 100 years. They look like this. Inside your bag of marbles that you can still get today, you will have one giant marble called a shooter, and then you'll have lots of different colored balls. The game of marbles goes like this. You draw a circle on the ground, put the little marbles inside, and you take the shooter marble and you flick it with your thumb, trying to knock out the smaller marbles. It's a lot of fun. But today I'm going to use this big giant jar of marbles to show you how time passes and to show you why it's important to think about your time. I read a book called Playing for Keeps, Losing Your Marbles. And losing your marbles doesn't sound like a good thing, but let's check it out. In the book, this is what I learned. I learned that from the time that you were born, 0 years old, until you become an adult at 18 years old, you will live 936 weeks. Wow! So let's pretend that each week is one of these marbles. In this jar, there are 936 marbles. All right, so each one represents a week of your life, okay? All right, so when you're a baby, you might take a week to learn how to roll over. And then you got a week where you learn how to crawl, and you're gonna later learn how to walk, and you're gonna start learning how to potty, and then you're gonna learn your ABCs, you're gonna sing songs, and then you're gonna go to preschool, and then you're gonna go to big school, and then you might start playing sports, making friends. You're gonna do all kinds of wonderful things. Now, the marbles are adding up. But did you know that by the time you are 9 years old, half of these marbles will have been used? You did some awesome things with the first 9 years of your life. Awesome. Okay, now you're 9, you've graduated from Kingdom Kids, and now you have 468 weeks or marbles left. Okay, now you're going into middle school. You're making new friends. You just joined the youth group. You've got playing new sports or activities, and then you're going to go into high school, which is another new school, more new friends, maybe some sports, activities, clubs, dances, and then comes your 16th birthday when you're eligible to get your driver's license. Some cool stuff going on. Okay, by the time you are 16 years old, another half of these marbles will have been used. Boy, you're growing up fast. You are driving all over town now. You're still in high school at 16 years old, and you've got 234 marbles left. So you're going to be going to ball games, you're going to be learning new things in school, and you are going to be asking people to the prom, going to the prom, and then you're going to be starting to look toward the future. What are you going to do after high school? You're going to be looking at colleges or jobs. You've got lots of decisions to make. You're going to be going to church, into youth group. You've got lots of fun things happening all the time. This is a busy, busy time of year. So between the ages of 16 and 18, lots of exciting things happening. But by the time you're 18 years old, these marbles will have been spent. When you turn 18 years old, that means you're an adult. All of the toys may be gone, but you'll have new adventures ahead, a job or school or other things. Now, if mom and dad are in the room right now, they're looking at this empty jar, because an empty jar means no more marbles. No more marbles means you're not a kid anymore. Look at mom and dad right now and say, it's going to be okay. Because you actually are still a kid, and you do still have marbles in your jar, and you still have weeks to decide how you're going to spend your time. Now, we cannot go back in time, and we cannot buy more time, so we have to spend the gift of time as wisely as we can. How you spend your week does matter. So go talk as a family and look for ways that you can make your marbles count. You know, our time is actually God's time. It's a precious gift, and we want to use it wisely, and we want to use it for the Lord. And in God's time, which we don't always understand, but in God's time, He will get us where we need to be. He made us a promise in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." That's an amazing promise.
in your time.
Since we all have such busy schedules and time is very important, you may want to make a chart like this. Your daily routine chart. I'm sure you can make one a little bit better than me, but my artist, better known as Miss Caitlin, is a little bit under the weather, so I had to do it myself. But you can include in your chart things that you need to do, things that you want to do, and of course, you need to make time for God. The Bible tells us in Hebrews 13:16 that God wants us to help others. Using our time helping others is very important to God. Even though we're having to spend more time at home, there's still ways we can help others. We can call and check on someone that may live alone. We can send cards to people. We can pick out toys and books that we no longer need that can be donated. We can drop off food for backpacks of love. We can save our coins for Heifer International. We could help our brothers or sisters pick up their toys. Or we could help our parents after dinner. And of course, we can pray.
Hey Kingdom Kids, it's Miss Melinda and Lila and Violet again, and today we're going to sing a song called Reach Up, Reach In, Reach Out. And it's about how we can talk to God, and if we listen, God will talk to us. Okay? This is the way it goes. It's an echo song. I will sing the first part, they're going to sing the echo, then the chorus we all sing together. And then the second time when we go through the song, we all are going to sing the first part, and you guys can sing the echo, okay? Here we go. You ready? We can talk to God.
We can talk to God
Any time of day.
any time of day.
And we need to listen
And we need to listen
to what God has to say.
to what God has to say.
Reach up, reach in, reach out, ba ba da ba 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 ba. Reach up, reach in, reach out, ba ba da ba 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 ba. God will guide our hands.
God will guide our hands.
God will guide our hearts.
God will guide our hearts.
God will give us power
God will give us power
to serve and do our part.
to serve and do our part.
Reach up, reach in, reach out, ba ba da ba 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 ba. Reach up, reach in, reach out, ba ba da ba 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 ba. Okay, now we're gonna sing the main part, okay, ladies, and they can sing the echo. Here we go. We can talk to God any time of day, and we need to listen to what God has to say. Ready? Reach up, reach in, reach out, ba ba da ba 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 ba. Reach up, reach in, reach out, ba da 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 da. God will guide our hands. God will guide our hands. God will guide our hearts. Power. God will give us power to serve and do our part. Reach up, reach in, reach out, da 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 da. Reach up, reach in, reach out, da 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 da. Not bad, Kingdom Kids. You practice that this week, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi everybody! Today for our story, I'm going to read a popular passage from the Old Testament in the Bible that talks about time. See that clock? It comes from Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 through 8. That's a big word, isn't it? Ecclesiastes. And did you know that Ecclesiastes means teacher? So let's listen and see if we can learn more about time. Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 through 8. There is a right time for everything, Everything on earth has a special season. There is a time to be born and a time to die. There is a time to plant and a time to pull up plants. There is a time to kill and a time to heal. There is a time to destroy and a time to build. There is a time to cry and a time to laugh. There is a time to be sad and a time to dance. There is a time to throw away stones and a time to gather them. There is a time to hug and a time not to hug. There is a time to look for something and there's a time to stop looking for it. There is a time to keep things and a time to throw things away. There is a time to tear apart and a time to sew together. There is a time to be silent and a time to speak. There is a time to love and a time to hate. There is a time for war and a time for peace. Now this passage teaches us that there is a time for everything. Sometimes we are sad, sometimes happy, sometimes mad, sometimes joyful. Sometimes we feel like crying and sometimes we feel like having a giant party. The good news is that no matter what we are facing or what the day holds for us, God is there for us all of the time.
We live in a busy world with lots of options of how to fill our time. We're always running out of time or trying to find the time. Although we all have the same amount of hours in our week, we also have choices of how we spend those hours. So take some time and see if you're using them wisely. Time seems to pass quicker than we expect. So for your mom and dad's sake, try not to grow up so fast. Enjoy those snuggles, hugs, kisses, and bedtime stories. The things you think you want to do when you're older, they'll still be there. So for right now, enjoy every phase of your childhood. It's a precious gift. Talk to mom and dad, talk to God, and look for ways that you can make your marbles count. Time to go. We'll see you next week, boys and girls. Bye.